Golden here. I moved to Dublin about 3 months ago, so I've been living in this house for quite some time now, and I never really filmed a video like the house tour, so I thought I would do this today. It's a shared house in a student accommodation, so I share this house with 7 other people, 4 guys and 3 girls, and we are all sharing a room with someone. Now, I've always dreamed of living in a very British looking house, you know, like the semi-detached houses that you find all over England and Scotland, probably Wales. And that's kind of like the house that I live in at the moment. So in a way my dream has come true, but it's so not perfect. There's like so many different problems in this house. Some of them are about the house itself, some of them are about the landlord, and then there's also one problem that's more like about Ireland in general, not just the house. Yeah, so let me show you around. Okay, so when you walk in the house, you have a weird kind of hallway that leads into the kitchen. It's kind of messy here, but yeah, we have 3 fridges, and yeah, well, I mean, that's the kitchen, there's not much to say about that. We do have a washing machine, which is great, because then, you know, that means that we don't have to go outside to do the laundry. And then we have a dining room. I don't spend much time here. And then a sitting room. I don't spend much time here because one of the chairs is broken, so if you sit on it, you fall on the floor. And then the 2 couches that we have are quite dirty, so no one really wants to sit on it. So we have a sitting room, but no one uses it. We also have a toilet downstairs, but it smells horrible. Ew. The one thing that I use all the time in the kitchen is this. It's also broken. You have to like kind of, well, anyway, the kettle. I use it all the time to make tea. Okay, let's go to my room. My room is on the 2nd floor, which is like the top one. I'm really cold. It's really cold here because we didn't turn on the heater. And to be honest, I'm not sure if we ever will, because it costs a lot of money and no one really wants to pay for it, so we just survive. And I think that's the first big problem about this place. Not just this accommodation, but in general, like Dublin and maybe even just the whole of Ireland. It's so expensive that, well, people can't afford to pay for heating. So even when it snowed last week, we just didn't have heating inside. But like, you know, I'm a master's student, so I have a lot of work to do for uni, but not very many classes. Like, I only have 3 classes a week, so my weekends are like 4 days long. And even when I go to class, it's usually for like 3 or 4 hours a day, and then I just spend the rest of the day at home being so cold, and there's just nothing I can do because I can't turn on the heating. And also, even if I wanted to, well, there's 2 problems. First of all, it doesn't work, and even if it worked, the heater is hidden behind my wardrobe. So like, even if we managed to turn it on, the heat would be trapped behind something, which is not ideal, you know, because it costs so much. You don't want to lose that much heat. But yeah, anyway, so we're not using it. And so when I get cold, usually I just go and have a shower. So usually what I do is that I study until about 4, 5 or 6 p.m. and then I just go and have a shower, because the shower is actually warm, and it feels really good to be warm for like 10 minutes, and then you go back to your room and you're cold, but that's fine, and you just wait for the shower the next day. But the problem is that we have 2 bathrooms, and one of them broke the other day. Like, basically the thing is, everything breaks in this house. Everything is broken, and everything that's not broken yet is breaking, and it's so expensive. So yeah, the shower that I used to use is broken now, so I don't use it anymore, and I have a shower in the other one, which I really don't like, because for some reason sometimes the water doesn't get warm at all, you know, like it just stays cold the whole time, and you're there in the shower waiting for like 5, 10, 15 minutes, and you're just thinking, you know, it's gonna get warm at some point, but it just doesn't. So in the end you just have a cold shower. But when you spend the entire day inside and you're freezing because the heater is not working, and then you go and have a shower which is supposed to be warm, and it just ends up being cold, and you're like, oh, this is horrible. So yeah, so the shower is broken. Both of them are kind of broken anyway, and the toilet doesn't work very well. That's also a problem. But then the last kind of big problem that we have is that the sink is broken. Like, there's a leak, so the floor is always wet. So sometimes, you know, I go to the bathroom in the morning and then I walk into the leak, and then my socks are wet for the rest of the day, and I'm like cold and I have wet socks, and I'm like, this sucks, you know. And because there's a leak, and also there's a small light in the bathroom, there's like basically 2 lights. One of them is outside the bathroom and the other one is on the inside, and usually I use the one on the inside. But recently, like for the past couple of weeks, every time I've turned on the lights, it just, you know, there's like an electrical shock. But because there's a leak from the sink, most of the time my feet are like wet, so then there's like this shock, but my feet are wet, which is not good. And then the other day when I was having a shower, like a cold one, because the water wasn't warming up, in the middle of my shower, the light just turned off. But because the other light is like on the outside, you know, you can't turn it on from the inside, and there's also no windows in the bathroom, which is why there's so much mold everywhere. So yeah, I was stuck inside the bathroom in complete darkness, and the water was cold, and there was no light, and there was a leak, and then, so you know, I had to go in the hallway and turn the light on. And I did that, and then I got dressed, and my shirt fell on the floor, but because there's a leak it got all like wet. So yeah, the bathroom kind of situation it's really not great. The landlords are not great also, which is not very nice, because, you know, everything sucks here, so I wish there was someone that you could like turn to, and someone who would just fix problems, but there's not really that kind of support here. So this is the leak. You can't really see it, but it's wet. And then that's the broken lamp. You can't see it either, but like if you touch this you'll get electrocuted. And that's the shower. That doesn't really work. Like, it's very unpredictable.